My name is Rodolfo, and I will explain you the diagramming of this sentence.
We have this example. In the summer, when it's hot, Irene gets up at 6 o'clock and tries to do all the housework by 8. Ken makes breakfast, he's a good cook. To try to diagram the sentence, it seems that will be hard to do, but if we analyze it carefully, it can be easy to resolve. At first, can you see how many sentences are in this example? That's right, there are 3. The first is in the summer when it's hot, Irene gets up at 6 o'clock and tries to do all the housework by 8. The second one is Ken makes breakfast. And the third is he's a good cook. See in the first sentence, what kind of sentence are in this example? That's right, it's a complex sentence. Because the first one is a subordinate clause that is related with the main clause Irene and the others are complements. The second one, can you recognize it? If you say it is a simple phrase, great job, because there's only a subject, a verb, and a complement. And it's the same for the third sentence. We finally finished to analyze the sentence. Now it's time to diagramming them. Okay, let's continue with the diagrammization. In this case, we have the first part of the sentence that are going to put, that's right, and that's here. In the summer, where it's hot, Irene gets up at 6 o'clock and tries to do all the housework by 8. Okay? Let's analyze the first part of this sentence. That is in the summer when it's hot. What is the main noun of this part? That's right, it's summer. Okay? Now, what are the second part of this part? That's right, is the verb eats. It is. Okay? And finally, the final reference of this, like you put a slash like this, good job, it's hot. Alright? Now, what are the complements of this summer? I put of this in and the. In is a preposition and the is the article. Okay? And finally, this kind of slashes, separate the slashes with a horizontal slash, like when, it's as we know a connector. Remember these rules. The nouns going to put in horizontal slash. Then we're going to put the verb, that case it's, and finally the complements are put in a diagonal slashes like hot. And the case is the same or in and the. And the connectors are put in this case like a chair. I can put on that, okay? Then the second part of the clause, the main clause, is Irene gets up at 6 o'clock and tries to do all the housework by 8. Then, Irene what it's? Yeah, is the main subject of the all that sentence. And where is the verb next to Irene? Yes, it's marked in red. It gets up. Okay, she gets up. But we have a preposition, a direct preposition. What is? Exactly, it's at. And finally, the direct complementation of that at is 6 o'clock. But as we see before, we have a connector. Where we put the connector? Yes, under the verb. Okay? And now we have the next verb that is tries to do. Tries to do is, as we know in Spanish, periphrasis. It's a periphrase. It's a verb periphrase. Okay? A verb periphrase is the combination of two verbs. Try to do. Okay? All of that is a verb. Remember that. And then, she tries to do all? Yes, the housework. And housework have 4 complements. Can you recognize it? It's easy. It's the article the adverb o, the preposition by, and finally, the complement of that preposition, 8. And that is all. It's really difficult to do, but with some practice you can do it. Now, let's continue with the second part of this sentence. That is, Ken make breakfast. Who's the main who is the main subject of this sentence? If you put Ken, great job. Ken is the main subject of this sentence. And what is the verb? Obviously, it makes. And final complement, as you can see, it is the only one that it remains, breakfast. And that's simple at all. We analyze this sentence. Now, let's continue with the third one. He has a good cook. With who is the main subject of this sentence? As you can see, it is he, but we have the verb has. Okay, he has, and finally cook. Okay, the only complement that is he, but we have two complements for that cook. What are the complements? That's right, the article a, the terminative article a, and finally the adjective good. At that simple row, we analyze the all sentences of these examples.